Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. I know it has been a minute, but I think I'm gonna be back for a little while. I'm coming back. I'm gonna start dropping every day. Okay. So basically today, I had some thoughts come to me and I said, well, damn, these are thoughts, and I'm always having random little revelations. Excuse me. I'm always having random revelations, but I don't be recording them. But I know that we need this information in this time. And these are all things that we know, but we need those constant reminders. Okay. And I got that revelation through just watching some of my favorite spiritualists, just pour into me on a daily basis. Stuff that I already know, but stuff that we need constant reminders of, and the importance of us all sharing, because we think like, we know everything already. So people will get the information wherever they need to get it from or whatever. But it's important for each and every one of us, chosen ones, to share what has been placed on our minds and on our heart. Okay? Because there's someone that needs that insight for that day. Okay? Literally through the YouTube algorithm, all the answers to things that I need come daily. Okay? Whatever information I need, if I'm stuck at a crossroads, I'm confused with something, the answer will come through. Okay, so that's why it's important for us as the chosen to drop these videos. Okay, no video is too small, no information is too little. We need all the answers and helps that we need, because spiritual warfare is at an all-time high. Okay, and spiritual warfare is at an all-time high when you see the governments of the world mentioning spiritual warfare. Okay, it's on. Okay, so we are watching these physical wars that are the manifestation of these spiritual wars and these cosmic wars that are going on. Okay, so this video today is going to be entitled, let me see, what is it going to be entitled? I don't know what it's going to be entitled just yet, but I'm going to give you guys a story. So basically today, I was on the side of town that I'm not usually on, and I have a shop over there where I found certain items that I need for my spiritual work. And I was over there and I was like, darn, I need to go to that store and go pick me up some stuff, right? And then as I'm riding past it, I see a sign that says military surplus, because now I'm on the side of town, which is close to a military base, right? And I'm starting to see all of these stores with all of these advertisements for selling your military weapons. You get cash for your military weapons and stuff. So it hit me in that moment. I said, oh shit. I said, I can't afford to go without my spiritual tools. My spiritual tools is literally my militia, literally my weaponry, these items that, not that I would say I've taken for granted, but these items that I haven't really gotten full understanding of its power, because we're used to using certain items on a certain level. Like, a lot of these spiritual weapons are multifaceted, right? These are things that you can eat, you can cook with, you can put on, these things are multifaceted, and we're mostly accustomed to them in that form until you really get the realization of their spiritual power and their spiritual protection and its weaponry. So in my head at that time, it said, yes, your spiritual tools, do not be caught out here lacking. Do not be caught without them. Okay? So this is a message to the chosen to not be caught without your spiritual tools at no time. Okay? I have just recently entered a new dimension of my spiritual warfare, but of my spiritual protection. Okay? I went through a season of fasting and praying, and that was good, but it didn't necessarily erase anything. It didn't get rid of anything. It might have kept things at bay at times, you know what I mean? And it was good, right? But I knew that I needed something more, because what I was facing was heavy, and fasting and prayer wasn't the answer. Okay? So I began to tap into the spiritual properties of the natural world. Okay? And this is something I've been doing since I've been aware of aware of spirituality. Over 13 years. I've done little things here, little rituals here and there, seeing their effectiveness. But again, you get to a certain realization where you really tap into the mystery and you get a deeper understanding of the world around you and its power and its functionality, right? So I still, partake in fasting and prayer, right? But there's things that are greater. I'm here to tell you, those who might be stuck in this fasting and praying thing, you like, this shit ain't working. It got to be more, because this spiritual warfare is still coming on. There's other dimensions and other things that you need. So I stepped into the tool side of things, okay? And to give you an example, I did a video a while back about olive oil, okay? That was a revelation that was given to me about its power to heal, to take away pain, to kill off bacteria, and things like that, right? Its health benefits, right? And like I said, it's protective nature. I said, put on the whole armor of God. Make sure that you grease up with that. So I had gotten that word, and sure enough, a situation manifested to where I needed to use that. So basically, I released a message on my channel where I told everyone to, stay out of the doctor's office and become your own doctor. You know what I mean? And surely that very next day, I believe it's the next day, I received a pain. I got hit either spiritually or with an energy weapon, okay? And I had to be who I say I am, right? I just told everyone not to go to no hospitals, not to go to no doctors, to take care of yourself. I now had an excruciating pain that was debilitating, right? But through prayer and through the revelation of olive oil, right, I was able to overcome what had attacked me, right? So I knew that olive oil was powerful. Now, let me tell you also, so during this time now, this was a spiritual attack, not only because of that message, but because I had some financial increase coming in. And with this spiritual warfare, they want to attack your finances. So they wanted me to use that money to go to hospital bills or whatever. They didn't want me to be able to use that money to advance in any way. So they sent that evil arrow to, to tap my legs, fire, whatever they sent at me to debilitate my leg, right? So I had the olive oil and I seen that it worked. But in my mind, I'm still not realizing, okay, God gave you this word to use this olive oil. So I had the olive oil, but I still went to like the natural store to try to find something for what I thought I was dealing with, because I felt like it was some kind of nerve pain or something, right? So I went and got something that was supposed to be all natural, all organic. And it was this little teeny bottle for about $40, right? That shit didn't work. Bottom line, it did not work, right? But I would still, I was still trying to use it, because I wanted to use something that was, close to nature. I didn't want to use any really pharmaceuticals or any anything that was unnatural. I wanted something in its primal form to help with the healing. So I got this little $40 oil thing. It probably lasted like a couple days, right? But meanwhile, I still had this olive oil. So now this pain, with it being excruciating, it might have lasted about, I'm trying to think, it might have lasted about 2 weeks, really, where I was having some real problems. I was walking slow, like I had a hard time walking and everything. Now, during this time, I had to do some traveling. So it was painful trying to sit on my buttocks and everything and drive. But needless to say, I made it to my destination. Okay. But that was with me using the olive oil and that product that I had bought. Now, this pain could have went away sooner. But I didn't fully believe in the olive oil. Not that I didn't believe in it, I fully didn't understand its power. You know what I mean? I really didn't. I knew that I was using 2 products and I would feel relief here and there, you know, whatever. Okay? So now I'm in my new location, and this woman comes to me and she tells me, oh, I know what you should get. She suggested some kind of pharmaceutical product, and I was in pain. So I said, I'm gonna go get it. It was like some patches, but it was actually supposed to be all natural. It was some kind of plant patch. I forget what I put on it. Some kind of patches that, you know, you tape to your skin and it insert the plant into your leg. And that worked and it didn't work. It was like, you know what I mean? But do you know that now at this time I'm laid up in a hotel, just laying down, resting, you know, just taking it easy, you know what I mean? And trying to think about my next moves and stuff. And do you know, like, once that little bottle was through, right? Now, I was using the patches. Okay, I was using the patches. But something hit me. Go back to that bottle of olive oil. So I started using the olive oil more consistently. And it was the olive oil that really took away the pain of this injury. Okay? Took the pain completely out. It would wipe it out. And in that moment, I knew, like, wow, here I was going about this little $40 bottle of oil, and Spirit Ben told me use this olive oil and put it on, but I didn't necessarily really believe in its superiority, you know? So olive oil now is something that is a spiritual tool, a spiritual protection, a shield for me, and a spiritual weapon. These are things that's in our arsenal that we must keep on us daily. So I'm gonna tell you that. So I had that bottle of olive oil. Let me see. I got that bottle of olive oil in maybe March, and then I kept it around for a while. Like maybe every time I would take a shower, I would just maybe grease my feet or use it for something. So maybe I wound up having that bottle of olive oil maybe for another month, maybe. And after that, so let's see, that's March. Maybe I had it until April or May. Okay. And then I didn't buy another bottle until just the other day. Okay. When in actuality, I should have kept that olive oil. I should not be without olive oil at no time, because olive oil acts as a shield. Okay. So I'm here to tell you all, make sure that you are anointing the back of your neck here, your third eye, your head. You can grease your hair with it. You know, do your feet with it, okay? Because that's another area where spiritual warfare, where spiritual attacks are taking place, on the feet, to bind you so that you can't complete your mission, okay? So you need to have something like olive oil in your arsenal, okay? You need to have salt, sea salt, regular salt in your arsenal, okay? It wasn't until I began to implement salt on my body, carrying it, right, in this little sack here, that I began to notice the change. When I wake up, I don't feel so drained, because what's happening at night with this spiritual warfare, and even if you are up at night and you're going into that 12 to 4, the witching hours, to combat the witchcraft, right? They so advanced, these beings and stuff. They'll attack you after that time. They don't give a damn about nothing like that. They can still operate after that time, right? Well into the day. They can operate at any time, okay? So, because I was thinking, like, you know, well, if I stay up with them, they can't attack me in my sleep, you know what I mean, and do anything to me in my sleep. But no, they can. They wait till you take your ass to sleep at 8, 9, 10 in the morning, and here they come with some other type stuff trying to get you, you know, whether it's the dreams of sex, them trying to have sex with you in the dreams, whether they're trying to feed you, or whatever it is they're trying to do to you to sully you, you know what I mean, and to delay you. They will do at any time of the day. So this salt here now has made it so that now I'm energized. I'm more energized. It's a purifying energy and a cleansing energy, and it's high vibrational. So it's like these beings that want to come near you, it's a barrier between you and them, because they don't like this. This is a shield as well. This tells them stay away. So you want to put salt around the perimeters of your home, maybe under your pillow when you sleep at night. If you wear a headscarf, put it on top of your headscarf. Make sure it's on you, especially for those of you who are waking up feeling drained, because at nighttime, like I said, I found out that they suck and steal your energy. So you wondering why you waking up and you feeling fatigued. And you're like, bitch, I just slept. How am I waking up tired? It's because they come to you at night and they come to feed off. You got beings that want to come just to feed off of you. Okay? So by putting this on you and around you, this stops that kind of parasitic behavior from going on. Okay? Something as simple as salt. Something that I've worked with in the past. I've worked with salt, putting your name in salt. I've worked with it, I've worked with all of these tools before, but never, I guess I've experimented with them and seen their power, but still never opened up the power of the dimensions of their powers. But now I get it. Now I get these things and how they actually work. Okay? So salt is one of those things that you need to place on you. I did a video a year ago about garlic and the power of garlic. Right? At that time, I understood it on one level and I gave y'all a message. But this is a weapon that must not leave our sides. These are something you ought to have in your arsenal. This is like your your arsenal. Your arsenal. What's the word it's called? A storehouse. It's a storehouse for your weaponry. This needs to be in your cabinets. Okay? Let me see. So we said garlic. Garlic, salt, sea salt, and olive oil. Okay? Another thing that's going to be very important with this spiritual warfare is to ensure that your altar is fed. Okay? Whether you have an ancestor altar, whether you have an altar for your deity or your pantheon, these are things in these days and times that we cannot afford to sacrifice. We cannot afford to be lacking in these areas, okay? There is a saying, okay, that is very crucial and very vital, okay? Take care of the spiritual first and everything else will follow. And that is a very true statement, okay? Now, since I done got back to my new location, I mean, I had been in chaos. You know what I mean? I've been in pure chaos, okay? And I've been trying to keep up with my finances and I ain't been able to get no stronghold on it. So I had to finally surrender and say, hold up. I got to get back to what I do. And I don't give a damn if my money low or not. I got to get back to what I do. And I got to do my money rituals daily. Because when you have spiritual warfare, you can't do a ritual once a week or once a month like maybe you've been able to do prior. You got to be on top of that stuff daily because these beings and these agents, they working around the clock to ensure you got nothing and that you have nothing. You understand? They're not playing. They want you out of here. So you have to make sure that you prioritize your spirituality over your physicality. Very important. Okay? So those altars must be cleaned. They must be fed. The gods must be fed. The ancestors must be fed so that they can act on your behalf. Okay? Because if they do not get fed, they will begin to feed off of you and you need your energy. You don't want now your gods to now be feeding on you, which lowers you, that makes you immune to attacks. Okay? So let me see some other things that I can share. Okay, so this is something that helped me really understand the power of the natural world and the things around us, like the plants, the flowers, and why we must consume these things for protection, okay? So basically it hit me like a car, how a car functions and runs, right? We got to get our constant oil changes, right? Now it's just this liquid that you put in the engine and it keeps your car in motion. Right? It's something that keeps your car in motion. It keeps it going. It's this liquid, just this bottle that you pour in that you pay about $100 to $120 and it keeps your car going. How could oil make this car powered up, cranking and go, right? From a liquid. Now it's hitting me, right? We put gas in our car every day. It's a liquid that's coming from the natural world that we're putting into this vehicle, getting this stuff going, right? Now, these are all things that I know, but here I am really communing with these thoughts, really connecting to the natural world and its capability to give us flight, to do all manner of things for us, right? Okay, so here it is, something that comes from nature is transformed into something that comes in this packaging that now we use to power our cars, to power our engine, right? Something from the natural world. So everything, not everything, but I mean, everything that we need for victory, everything that we need to power this spacesuit, this system we have. Remember, everything that we see that is created, cars, cameras, right? Everything is based off of our physical design. We are the blueprint for everything that is created, right? So the car is another thing. The car is modeled after the human, right? It's modeled after us. We are in motion too. We move as well. We have legs, we have arms, we go, we come, you know, all of that. So the car is modeled after us. So if the car takes a liquid so that it can run, then, and it comes from the natural world, we need to be finding out what in that natural world allows us to fly, right? Because we need to be flying. We need to be able to overcome this spiritual warfare at a much faster pace. We need to be in the Matrix like this, like Neo in the Matrix, just tossing shit up out of our way. Like, we need to be sped up. And I'm telling you that everything that we need for victory is in the natural world. So I need y'all to be on the lookout when you're out and about, and let nature speak to you. Begin to use these things. So not only incorporate them, like I just explained with the salt, the olive oil, but consuming these superfoods, these grains, these mushrooms, these plants daily to supercharge your body. Because like people always say, the only way this warfare can really hit you is if your vibrations is low, right? So these plants and these mushrooms are going to be able to keep us higher so that we can easily remove these obstacles and these roadblocks that they're sending us, and we are higher than the attacks. So a little something that I do daily to stay above the attacks now, because like I said, I've been in pure chaos, so I ain't been doing my teas like I want to. It was a hot ass summer. I'm so glad the fall is here. I ain't never thought I wanted to see the fall this much in my life. I am so grateful. Okay, I was out in this motherfucking sun. Okay, a whole 3-4 months, no air conditioner, windows rolled down. Okay, in this heat, sweating bullets from the time I wake up to the time I go down. Couldn't wait till nighttime come down, came so the sun could go down. Okay, so I was in a frenzy, constantly trying to find shade, all type of stuff, you know. So I say that to say I was not tapping into my teas as much, my greens, because who the hell wants to drink something hot when it's hot outside? So I had did some alternating. I had started doing coconut water, which was great. Coconut is great for your system, okay? That is fuel for your body. That's electricity, okay? And you need electricity. That's like gas. So if you can, get you some coconut water, okay? You need the, who makes a good brand? I think it's Vita or Vivo, one of them, Vita or Vivo, but they have a farmer's one that's in a brown packaging, brown and blue, and it's all organic. That's the one you want. That's the one that'll clear you out, because you know when you clogged up, right, and you full of shit, you know, the body slows down. So that coconut water will clear everything out and get you, you know, charged up, high vibrational, and removing those spiritual attacks from you. So that is a spiritual tool that must be with you as well. You need your green teas, right? You need your mushroom teas. You need your coconut water. These are all, what we consume is a weapon. What we're consuming are shields. Okay, that's how you have to look at this. These are shields. These are things that we cannot afford in these last days, that we call these last days, right? The last days for this beast, right? And their agents. And these last days, we cannot be caught without these products, okay? It's time to bulk up. So bulk up on things from the natural world, whether you're consuming them, whether you're placing them on your body, or whether you're putting them in your space, okay? Another thing for those of you who have homes, you want plants. You want to get you some plants now that ward off negative energy, that acts as shields. Now, right now, I can't tell you any name of any plants at this time. One does come to my mind, but I can't think of his name. But you can, Google, do a YouTube search, and that proper video will show up to tell you which plants you need to keep in your home, which one's going to bring prosperity to your home. Remember, everything is energy. Everything out here is alive, and it means something, to do something, that has a function. So you have plants that can bring you money when you need money, okay? You have plants that can, shield and protect, that you need around your home. Okay, so tap into the power of the natural world. Ask your spirit team to reveal the mysteries of the spiritual aspects of the natural world of plants, vegetables, and fruits, so that you can utilize it in your life and overcome the warfare that we are in. Okay, so yes, there's a quick message. I'm back. I'm getting back online. I've been fighting my ass off, y'all, but as you can see, I'm still here. Okay? The more the story is, you must stay in the game. Stay in the game. Whatever you do, you have to endure. You shall never give up. Okay? And I tell you, this summer, I got my ass kicked. I was in 100-degree weather, bro. 100-degree weather out this bitch. Sweating like crazy. Couldn't find shade. I mean, it was something, but I rolled with the punches, and thank God the fall is here. Okay? So I love you guys, and I'm going to be back. I'm coming back. I'm recharged, and I'm ready to start talking to you. I'm ready to add my 2 cents and ensure that we are strengthened in this time. Because it's time to put some of these wars to an end. It's time for these wars to come to an end. It's time to put that final KO on these niggas and put them to bed. Okay? So with that being said, until next time, peace.